Next game on our list is the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Miami to take on the Vikings. We always talk about how hard it is to travel to take on the Dolphins in Miami around this time of year. The Vikings, though, are favored 3 points with an over-under of 45.5. The Dolphins, without Tua Tagovailoa in this game, without Teddy Bridgewater, Skylar Thompson will be starting for the Dolphins. Aaron, you've been critical of the Dolphins over the past week, dropping them farther and farther down on your power rankings. Is this another game similar to last week where it was obviously it's not the Jets, like the Vikings are a good team, but what are you looking for out of this Dolphins team against the Vikings, a much better opponent now with Skylar Thompson at quarterback?
I don't know what I would say. It's a much better opponent than the New York Jets. I think this is a different game. You get two teams that don't know each other very well, right? It's out of a conference game. It's going to be tough for Minnesota to come into Miami. I think it's a tough game for Minnesota. Regardless of who's at quarterback for Miami, I think that when you have games like this and you're not as familiar with the team as the Jets are with Miami, it's a little bit different. So Skylar Thompson's a new quarterback. You don't have much tape on him. How are you going to game plan for that if you're Minnesota's defense? But really, this comes down to the secondary of Miami, which has played pretty poorly thus far this season, but has a bunch of talented guys. And are you going to be able to stop Justin Jefferson and this new air raid offense that Minnesota's bringing? And then, despite what we feel about Kirk Cousins, this game's not in prime time, so he'll probably play pretty well. And Justin Jefferson is an absolute beast. So you got Adam Thielen, a veteran, KJ Osborne mixed in there, Irv Smith. They got weapons in Minnesota. It's going to come down to this Miami secondary, and are they going to be able to stop the offense? Because they haven't played so great as of late.
So it's not so much on Skylar Thompson in this game. Like that's not like this
is going to sound so bad, but like Skylar Thompson, Teddy Bridgewater, who cares? Same thing. Like they're both going to be in there to be game managers and get the ball into their weapons, right? Skylar Thompson's actually played pretty well from what we've seen of him in NFL action. The rest of the game he played in, and then the preseason he was lights out. And again, I get it; it's preseason. We're not jumping, for joy over him, but we haven't seen him like shit the bed. It's not like we've watched him play like Kellen Mond or somebody. So, I think there's something there. I think he's capable of being a game manager and just getting. You got Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, who's kind of in the doghouse, Tyreek Hill, get it to your weapons, Cedric Wilson. If you're Vinny, Trent Sherfield. But yeah, just get it to your weapons and good things will happen.
That was only for Teddy. With Skylar Thompson, I can't do it. Okay. I can't go in. That's why that's the only reason why Trent Sherfield's not a thing, because it's not Teddy. AJ, on the Viking side, you've been high on them this season. You've been high on them as of late from this season and last season. What you look like that for? You have been high on them, have you not?
No, he's been high on that offense. That's been the argument we've had.
I'm saying you've been high on them.
We had a conversation that Kevin O'Connell might do more for the offense. And then anytime we talk about the Vikings, I've been very truthful about what Kirk Cousins has been, what Justin Jefferson is and probably will be. But I get what you're trying to do, so I'm going to just take it down a notch.
No inaccurate statements here. No lies have been told right now. The Vikings, though, are on a 3-game win streak, and in their 3 games, they're all of those games they trailed in the fourth quarter. Do you expect them to be trailing much in this game, or what do you expect from this offense? What do you want to see from them in a game where they're favored and it's in Miami?
This is the best damn offense in the. No, I'm kidding. Look, actually, it's not the offense that I have much to see from. I expect it to look like we've always seen it. A lot of passes to Justin Jefferson in the first half. Adam Thielen's getting back his end zone identity. Dalvin Cook, KJ Osborne. We mentioned the weapons. Aaron put it out so eloquently. It's more about this defense because Miami has a good offense. The only question mark is their quarterback, Skylar Thompson, in his first start. You mentioned the preseason. I'll talk about what Aaron Rodgers said about the preseason, where you're watching a lot of basic schemes from teams, and anybody can look good in the preseason. Not to take anything away from Skylar Thompson, but I don't expect it to be like that in this game. Skylar Thompson or not, this is the regular season. Minnesota is on their best start in about 3, 4, 5 years, a 3-game win streak, and they want to keep it going by any means possible. So I expect this defense to throw things at a rookie that he's not prepared for. I expect them to disguise up different blitzes. I expect them to get after the quarterback and force him into mistakes. If Skylar Thompson is not able to get the ball out quickly and allow these weapons like a Jalen Waddle and a Tyreek Hill to do what they do best at the end after they get the ball in their hands, Raheem Mostert, who's been playing very well to this point, and knock is healthy still. It's going to be a tough day for him, and I expect Minnesota to be on their head on the defensive side of the ball. It's the one time when you can look really, really good as a defense. You're gonna have to show up.
Yeah, I think what I'm highlighting here that I want to see in a game where obviously it's Skylar Thompson at quarterback is how do you neutralize Tyreek Hill and how do you neutralize Jalen Waddle? Because that, we talked all the offseason about this Vikings defense. That's the story with this team. It's not the offense. We know this offense is good. We've seen what this offense can do, but it's the defense, and it's specifically the secondary as of late. Last week, the secondary came up clutch. Wham, bam, Cam Dantzler was able to win them the ball game by snatching it out of Marchette, whatever his name is. He pulled it out of his hands. They were able to win the game. The secondary made a play there. They have to make plays against this offense with weapons like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. That's what I'm really watching for. How does Patrick Peterson? How does Cam Dantzler? How does this secondary play against the weapons that Miami has?
This is unreal. Come on, guys. Neutralizing Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle for a team that hasn't neutralized anybody that hasn't had any talent. Look at who they
why we're
played.
Watching for it.
The Chicago Bears, the New Orleans Saints, the Detroit Lions. These are the receivers that the Minnesota Vikings have had to play over the past 3 weeks. They've given up 24, 25, 22 points to these teams. And now you're bringing in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. We've seen what happened when they played real good receivers, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and they got steamrolled.
That's the point. That's the point. I'm not saying it can happen. That's why I'm saying
I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to AJ, who said this is what he's looking at because Skylar Thompson.
What I'm looking for.
No.
Yes, that's exactly
you said this is what you expect because they're playing Skylar Thompson. And anybody can play well in the preseason. Well, I just brought up a name. You can't. His name was Kellen Mond. He couldn't play well in the preseason because he didn't. So not everybody can play well in the preseason.
That man
and to your point, this is where the genius. This is where the genius now, the boy genius, whatever, Mike McDaniels comes into play. His job is to make sure that ball gets in the hand of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle very early. So Skylar Thompson doesn't have to read defenses like that. And if there's any team that can read bubble screens, reverses, without even your quarterback having to do anything, that's the situation you want to be in. You want to be able to put in them. Now, I'm not saying Skylar Thompson's going to be perfect, but Minnesota's defense has shown me zero as far as me trusting them. They could not stop the Bears. The Bears came back. The Bears, and we watched them last night, who couldn't move the ball on the trash-ass Commanders. So I don't buy it.
That's divisional.
I don't buy it. I just don't buy it.
All I'm saying, I expect this defense to find ways to confuse Skylar Thompson. Do I expect it to work? That's to be seen. That's what I'm getting at. When you have this opportunity, you have a guy back there. Yeah, you're right. Mike McDaniel, he's very good at what he does, quote unquote. They have to find ways. That's the expectation. You have a quarterback out there who's making his first start, and there's one or two ways it's going to go. He's either going to be a deer in headlights, or he's going to be so excited to show what he's got because now it's his time until Tua comes back that you still get hyped up, and maybe he's got a hero ball complex. I don't know. It's his first start. With this defense, that front seven, they need to find ways to protect their secondary and get after the quarterback. That's all I want. That's all I want to know. If you find ways to get the ball in Tyreek Hill's hands, it's going to go well for you. I don't know that Skylar Thompson can find ways to get it in the hands of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert and not Chase Edmonds and Mike Gesicki. Like that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm getting at. So you're right. The Minnesota defense hasn't been like, oh man, look at the way they're trending. But hey, there's
roll into your prediction.
Sunday,
hurry up and pick the Vikings.
Given Sunday, I will pick the Vikings, and I'll pick it very easily. 31-17. This offense gonna roll.
Vinny,
Aaron?
you're confusing. Why is the pick on this side now?
Because the over-under's on the left.
But when the pick's on the other side?
It's been like that
earlier?
it's been like that all last show. It switches up depending on where the over-under is. I can't stack it on top of the over-under. It would cover up someone's face or be extremely small.
I got you. That's cool. I don't get it.
Yeah, it is cool.
Anyways,
it is very cool.
I have the Dolphins in this one, 27-24.
Fucking clown.
Because I picked the Dolphins?
No, because you're trying to call out my graphic.
I was asking, fool.
Yeah.
Timing.
You're going to try to call me out on consistency. I know where you're going.
No, I was asking, why is it on one side and then the other? And you gave me an answer, and I said, okay. Not everything's a shot at you, Vinny, just because I take shots at you during football conversations. Anyways.
Not because everything, not because all the time I take shots at you, but.
Yeah, I take shots at you about the football stuff, not about the graphic stuff. I was asking a question. Anyways, shut your mouth when you're talking to me. It's 27-24, Miami Dolphins. I think that at home, big difference. I also think the weapons get involved, and I think they bounce back. I think they find a way to beat Minnesota. Minnesota's good, but on the road, I'm not feeling that. I think Dolphins get the home win.
That's what I thought about heavily in this one because the Dolphins are on an 8-game home win streak. It's tough to play in Miami. With that being said, streaks are meant to be broken. 24-20 Minnesota Vikings. They find a way to win in this game. I think it ends up being a close game at the end, and it's going to be another fourth quarter comeback from the Vikings, which we've seen a lot of. Give me the Vikings here at 24-20.